I'm going to call the order the special meeting for Mount Anthony Union Heights, or Mount Anthony, sorry, Union High School District. The first item on the agenda is public comments. Still no one online?
No one online.
Okay. Moving forward, we will move on to the FY25 budget discussion. Renee?
So I think I handed out copies to everybody. I'm just gonna pull up my screen here. So a somewhat condensed packet than what you're used to seeing or what we have seen the last couple of times, because there haven't been a lot of changes in this draft. A couple of small corrections that I made to what I had mentioned before, the HRA percentage, I was scaling that back. I went back through and picked up a couple more. So there's a small reduction on the benefits line for those adjustments. No change on the salary line. So the positions that we had talked about last time that came out are still out, and the ones that are being requested are still in. So the one campus safety officer at the high school and the family engagement specialist at the high school coming in from ESSER. And then the increase to the athletics and activities administrative position. So those are all in your salaries and benefits lines. No changes to contracted services. Operations line, we actually had just a shift from some planned work on the exteriors to shifting that to the public address system upgrades. So I have notes at the bottom of the first page of what those changes are, with that operations one being the third bullet item. The transportation didn't change. Tuition line. So line number 6 is one that has been a decrease from draft number 2. And this was because the 6th semester average came out from the Agency of Education for the students attending Southwest Tech, and it was a slight reduction from what I was carrying in the previous version. So that has been made, so that's set. No changes on the supply line, equipment line, dues and fees line. The assessment line is also a reduction from the previous draft, and that is due to the SBSU budget being set as of Monday. It was approved. So the assessments, or the assessments were set along with that. So I dialed those in here into the budget, and then your lines 11 and 12 remain unchanged. Yeah. A couple of things that have changed significantly. The revenue page, which is page number 4 in your packet, or the third slip of paper, no changes there. But on the tax rate calculation page, we've received several variations, or versions, I guess I should say, on the long-term weighted ADM numbers from the agency, and each version has ticked up slightly for the district, which is good news. So with the budget reductions that we've had and the upticks in the long-term weighted ADM, you can see on essentially it's line 5 on that page that I have up on the screen. We're now below that 10% increase. The previous version we were above that, so we were looking at a potential facing of the tax rate review panel. So we are now below that, not subject to that review, and because of that, we are now eligible for that 5% tax increase cap. So that got highlighted on this page too. So with that, it's actually saving us 2.6 cents essentially on the tax rate. So it's limiting our tax rate increase to that 5% or 1.05 on the MAU side. So this page is solely for the Mount Anthony district, but that's not what your tax rate is, because we have to blend with the elementary districts. This is the final page. Yep. I know that there's a lot of data on this page. We've got the long-term weighted APM numbers at the top. This is what is being referred to as preliminary frozen version 5A. So almost frozen, not frozen. They're still trying to get the final corrections in. I don't foresee any more changes with our data. I think our numbers are good, probably pretty well set where they are. So then those numbers, essentially, we blend them with the SVU ESD budget as well as the North Bennington budget. Those of you not on the SVU ESD board, that budget was finalized earlier this week. So the numbers that you see there under the Bennington, Powell, Shaftesbury, Woodford, those are set. That district was not anywhere near the 10% increase, and they're actually a decrease on their spending and their tax rate. So they're good to go, but both North Bennington and the current version of their budget and Mount Anthony are hitting that tax rate cap. So that is the figures that then flow down into where you see the blues and the blacks on the lines here. So the percentages are pulling from up above, where basically each town takes their proportion of elementary students. We grab whatever district those elementary students are from, the town, we apply that proportion to the corresponding tax rate from that district. We blend that with Mount Anthony and a proportion of each of those towns, add them together to come up with our anticipated equalized rate, which I've highlighted here on the page right now. And then we have to apply the CLA, which I don't think we had those at our last meeting, did we? Or another big decrease this year across the board. So unfortunately, with the market continuing to go up and our towns, our properties and our towns not being reappraised in some time, our value of our homes to market are lower. So therefore, that's why the CLA is a reflection of that. So when you apply the tax rates by town with the corresponding CLA of each town, you get the tax rate, and then I've got the comparison to the current year's tax rates, and increases across the board are pretty much what we're seeing across the state. I know it's they're not numbers that we're used to seeing, but a good portion of this is due to the CLA in each of the towns. And the only other thing that I have to offer the board tonight is, because you're at that 5% cap, the only way that you're going to be able to drive those numbers down is if you cut more than $725,000 out of your budget. That's how much that cap is basically protecting right now. So that's all I have. Questions?
So I see that we're like, and I think you had said, or it looks like that we were closing in on that 10% threshold, right? But we're not at that threshold, so we get the 5%. Is there anything that you anticipate changing that, or like, do you foresee something changing that after we vote could push us over that 10%?
No, I mean, the only factor in there would be the long-term weighted ADM, and our numbers have been reviewed and reviewed and reviewed and confirmed and confirmed and confirmed. So they're good.
Okay, it was just making me nervous.
That would be the only thing.
40% is close to 10.
It's pretty close to 10, so I just wanted to make sure we were.
I'll make a motion to approve budget as proposed, as written.
Okay. Any discussion? No discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. know it's a lot of work.
Well, thank you for supporting that work.
Jim Morgan.
Arlington did not approve their budget last night, so we're still waiting. Sandgate approved their budget this afternoon. SVSU approved theirs, the SVSU approved theirs, the elementary review, so Arlington
North End.
and North Bennington.
Are there holdouts there?
Or has North Bennington had the meeting? They had a meeting last night, did not, and they're gonna meet again next week. Okay. Arlington will hold a second meeting, but they're waiting for some additional information.
North Bennington being at there as well. I don't foresee that they have to cut out of their budget. I think it's like $75,000, which is significant for that district.
Yeah.
So I don't foresee any changes to move those numbers down from what you have in front of you for the North Bennington and Shaftesbury ID districts.
We'll need another meeting. I don't think, well, we meet next Wednesday. I don't think we'll have the warning language by next Wednesday, so.
I'm gonna try because of the vote on Spinelli. I think they have it drafted, so as long as I can confirm with Cassie all of the other positions for board seats that are
It'd be
in
wonderful
there.
if we can, because Sandgate informed us today that their town is told they want everything by January 22nd, which is significantly earlier than most of we need to get it to it's a printing issue. I know, but they would. I know Renee's already, been in contact. It's a different attorney in the firm that, Dean Atwood is our primary attorney, but it's a different attorney in the firm that does the warning.
I guess so that's a plan meeting out to just accommodate that, like.
I'm fairly confident that between tomorrow and Tuesday, because I think he already sent me a draft, and I know that Cassie's available, so I'm pretty sure we can flesh it out. But we will, of course, be amending the agenda because it already came out, so.
I missed it, yeah, so we can talk about that, as a agenda.
Yeah, we're gonna amend it.
5:30.
Yeah, Amy's going tomorrow, so we got to do it today. So we'll amend it. Tuesday.
So, moving on to item number 3, which is executive session as per 1 BSA section 3137, the academic record for suspension or discipline of students. And you identify who.
We're gonna ask Principal McGuire to stay in and superintendent and board members. There will be action. They're gonna have to take a vote when we come out